A few years ago, AI felt like something distant, right? It felt like something only the tech bros would talk about. But now, AI has changed the world that we live in. It's changed the status quo. It's writing emails, making music for people, even writing codes for people. It's doing the most. What does it really mean for us, right? Are we truly prepared for what AI is bringing our way? Today with me is Sam. Sam, not Sam Altman. Hi, Sam. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on this space. And I've been itching to have this conversation with you. And it's such a pleasure to be having you today.
Yeah.
And I think we can get right into it. Tell us about yourself, your upbringing, your background, and your first introduction into tech and then AI. Let's start from there.
All right. Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. It's my pleasure. I watch this channel. I follow this channel a lot, and I learn a lot from it. I remember the first time Angel reached out. I think that day, it was last year.
Yeah, it was
I was
last
in
year.
San Francisco. Like, I just received a call like, oh, Sam, I want you to come on my show, on my channel. I was like, okay. Let's do it. So I'm glad that it's the way when you want to travel abroad with your friends and let's say it's finally out of the group chat. So yeah, I'm glad it's finally out of the group chat. So a bit about me. My name is Sam. Mostly I work in the startup space and growth space. So growth mostly like a mix of marketing and go to market. So go to market meaning that you want to take a product from building to the marketplace that you want people to adopt it. So for example, I've worked with companies like Meta, I've worked with Turing, Deloitte, a number of companies like that. So majorly around that community side, getting people to
And now you're the founder of...
Yeah, now I'm building my own company.
Yeah.
So
Tell us about that as well.
Okay, so I'm building a company called BimpeAI. And
why is BimpeAI? Because Bimpe is a Yoruba name, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of questions about this. In fact, a journalist wrote about this specifically.
Oh, really?
Right. Yeah. And BimpeAI literally came from like a Yoruba word. Like when we started, we were trying to build an assistant. The same way you said AI assistant. So when I say, oh, how can we play around this? So say Bimikwe, ask me a question, ask me a correct question or something like that. So
nice.
No one else asked, oh, was your ex-girlfriend Bimpe or is your sister Bimpe or something?
I was gonna ask that, but because I already know a bit of history, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So that's literally how the name came from. So just like, oh, how can we build an assistant that can help people that will be always on and always be able to assist people? And literally that's how the story started. So a bit about my startup. What we do right now is that we help enterprise companies build AI workflows. So that might sound like a mouthful, but let me break it down. So for example, a lot of enterprise companies are trying to understand how to use AI. They have a lot of data. They have a lot of data set from different sources. They want to connect it. And the only way AI becomes smart and work better is if it can understand context.
Yeah.
So how does it understand context? So what we did was that we built this platform that can connect AI to any system of record. So, enterprise companies, they have ERP system, they have CRM system, all of those systems. Imagine an AI agent that can go into them,
that system,
orchestrate on it. Their guardrails have been designed for it and all of that. So, So right now, some of the workflows we're working on, for example, with the state government, where we're working with the traffic offense team, whereby if anybody, beats traffic, they want to be able to call the person. So the AI agent picks the information from the ticket or from the ticketing system, calls them immediately, let them know that, oh, they violated the traffic in this place, tell them their offense. And they can also raise an issue.
Really?
Yes. So also send them, so if they're raising an issue, it's also send them like a WhatsApp message, like the picture and the alerts, right? Just automated. So we're automating workflows like that. Another thing we're doing with one of the top banks in Nigeria, they have about 60 million customers. They want to be able to upsell their services to their customers. We built an algorithm, a recommendation algorithm for them, whereby, let's say you are Angel, as your profile, they have about 80 products. So the recommendation system can say, oh, Angel is most likely going to be interested in three of this product.
So the system understands my behavior.
Yes, it understands your behavior. So, but we now did something on top of that. We now built a voice model on top of that the system can call you autonomously and let you know these are the services available for you. So, because it already knows your behavior.
All of this is on this product.
Yes, it's on the platform. Yeah, so you're using our API to be able to build them. So those are the custom enterprise workflows that we are building. So we go to an enterprise, we show them what we can do, then they give us their workflow, then we'll build it for them.
Amazing stuff. And first, I want you to explain AI to like a 10-year-old person. What is AI? I know AI means artificial intelligence. But everyone just thinks, it's ChatGPT, it's Gemini, it's, Claude. Most people ChatGPT and then it ends there. But what exactly is artificial intelligence? Artificial
intelligence is very broad,
right?
But I'm going to bring it down to what is trending right now, which is LLM, large language model. So what does that mean? It means that there's a system that has been built where it was trained on large parameters of data. So that way it's able to easily predict the next line of action. So for example, some of these top models are trained on 16 billion parameters, 5 billion parameters. Those are data sets from different sources, from Reddit, from different places, right? And once it has that information, it's able to ingest possible next scenario in this case. So that's what I would define artificial intelligence as we know it today. The different branches of artificial intelligence, there's computer vision, there's LLM like I just described, there's also predictive learning, there's machine learning, there are a lot of places. But the goal of artificial intelligence, which many companies are working on, is called AGI, and it's artificial general intelligence. It's to get to a state where AI has an autonomous thinking ability to be able to think and take action on its own. Right now, AI can't necessarily do that end to end. There still has to be human
interaction.
So that's the goal. That's where it's going. Maybe in the next 5 years or so, AI will be able to take action on its own.
Wow, this is scary. It feels like AI suddenly exploded overnight, but the truth is AI has been existing since 1950s. At what point did you realize AI isn't just hype? At what point did you realize AI has come to stay?
Yeah, I think for me, I've gone through different technological cycle, technological hype. During the Web3 era.
Oh my God, that was such a thing.
It was a phrase, crypto is what we'll be spending. We'll never spend money again. We'll never, for me, when AI started maybe in 2019 or 2018, there was a paper that was published, and that was a paper that literally led to the breakthrough of LLM.
Blew it up.
But OpenAI was the one that literally started AI as we know it today, that made it blow up as we know it today through their ChatGPT. So then when ChatGPT 3 launched or ChatGPT 4.0, that's when things changed, because now it's now smarter. Before, you put in something, you're like, this AI is just hallucinating, thinking, but ChatGPT 4.0 changed the game. But for me, when it became serious that I know that, I have to do this full time, because I'm currently doing my startup full time, was when we started seeing results in terms of revenue results from companies. So for example, combined OpenAI and Anthropic last year, they made about $30 billion in revenue. And Anthropic is a company that's 2 years old, by the way. And you see companies
have been existing for years.
They're not even able to make that.
They don't have that revenue.
We see companies even here in London, we see companies like 11 Labs, we see companies like Lovable. Those companies are making revenue of 100 million, 200 million per year.
But you see AI companies having billions.
And they're making billions. And you wonder, how are people? It means that it has gotten to a place of hobbyist to a place of adoption. It means that companies are now adopting it and they're now seeing real results from it. But there's still a lot to be seen. But that's where I think we're at right now.
And that's really profound. And even even in my company, the last few weeks and even months, there's been introduction of course, we're using the co-pilot as well, but now we have AI agents coming into the picture, and you see the older guys really scared, really scared. You're like, hey, what's this? What industries are fastly being disrupted by AI. Of course, the tech space.
Yeah.
But you know how everyone goes about saying, oh, I'm scared that AI will take my job and all of that. But what industries and jobs are being affected mostly by AI? We've seen a lot of layoffs recently.
Yeah.
Oracle laid off about, I can't remember how many, thousands of employees.
Yeah.
What are those industries and jobs that's affected by AI?
So industries affected by, I would say maybe careers affected by AI.
Yes, careers, yes.
Yeah. So careers are, because every industry will be affected by AI
No
in
doubt.
a way or the other, in one way or the other. Careers affected by AI will start with the software industry, like software engineering. So AI is something like, it's like cannibalizing the industry that created it. Yeah. So, and it's happening everywhere. So, for example, we'll announce layoff recently. Coinbase, the crypto company, announced layoff this week. One of the things that we're talking about is that they now have non-technical people shipping code to production. It broke the internet.
Non-technical people.
Yes, shipping code to production. So they're not talking about the fact that they want to flatten the team, because before maybe they have like 6 level of commands, like maybe a manager, senior manager, VP, something. But now they want to flatten.
They want to reduce.
They want to reduce that. So now they laid off maybe 30-something% of their workforce, and it's happening like that across different companies. So software engineering is one of the biggest especially the biggest industry in the place. Then we have like customer support. Right?
Oh yes,
customer support.
We have chatbots.
Chatbot everywhere. Although customer support will not be affected completely because they still have to be human in the loop right now. But it's currently being affected. The number of, like, let's say you need 2,000 customer support agents. Now you don't need up to that. You can do well with 500. You can even do well with 200. We in my startup, that's literally one of the products we're deploying for companies. What we use.
So we should be scared of you guys.
No, what we tell ourselves is that if we don't do it, another company will come and do it.
Yes.
Yeah. And
so why not be the first to actually do it?
And what we do is that we do trainings. We help people understand, oh, this is the skill set you need to get. This is how you need to get better. How you need to learn to use AI.
What opportunities do you think AI? I mean, we've talked about the careers that are already being affected. What opportunities are created by AI?
It's still something that is still coming up. But there are a lot of opportunities that AI is creating, like in terms of career opportunities and also other opportunities. AI is creating a world where you can be a one-man team and you can do a lot of things, right? So for example, I was watching a webinar where someone did like their content strategy for 6 months with AI. I was like, even before you can't even do something like that.
I did that as well.
Exactly. So now, before you have to hire a social media manager, hire a content person. Now you can edit with AI. You can generate quality videos with AI.
You can even generate excerpts, like short videos.
Exactly. So this is the worst it can get. It's going to get. Like, it's going to keep getting better and better. So what it means is that it's creating an economy of generalists where you don't have to wait for someone before you do something. You can go do something on your own. To the extent where it creates. Someone was telling me that he figured out his radiator with ChatGPT, that he would have called a plumber. A plumber would have paid collected £400 for him to be able to fix it, and he was able to fix it during the winter. So those are the opportunities AI is going to open up. It's going to like collapse industry and open up more.
I hear you on this, but these opportunities are sounding like threats. Now, honestly, so how can people leverage on these opportunities and still stay relevant and not be too dependent on AI? I mean, a video editor is probably trained by AI, because even photography, you see prompts. There's there's the prompt engineering bit as well. With prompts, you can actually do a proper photo shoot. It can be in Maldives.
So
how can people actually,
the thing is that people need to learn to catch up with AI. And when I mean by catch up with that, there's a lot to catch up on. I'm not saying going into that rabbit hole. What I'm saying is that there are a lot of opportunities that, like, adding AI to it. So for example, I'll give you a good example. There used to be a role in my own field called go-to-market or growth marketer or something. But now there's a new role called go-to-market engineer. So they added engineering
To
to
the
the role.
go-to-market, yeah.
And what does that mean? It's literally the same go-to-market.
Yeah.
But now you are now building tools for go-to-market.
Okay.
For marketing. So let's say
So go-to-market is marketing.
go-to-market is a function of marketing. Yeah.
Okay.
So marketing is broad.
Yeah.
There's paid marketing. There's go-to-market marketing. But they put everything under go-to-market sometimes for startup, for early stage company. So now they're now engineering to the role. So for example, product manager is now product engineering.
Okay.
And why are they adding engineering to it? Back to what I mentioned earlier, where Coinbase said that non-technical people are
shipping codes. Yeah.
So it means that the barrier is now closing. So you're a product developer or product manager, you can now go to Claude or you can go to Cursor and just experiment a prototype. Instead of you to draw a prototype, instead of you to write a PRD, you can now put that PRD in Lovable or put it in Replit and it will develop the app for you. And you can now show your engineer that, I already did the front end. Now you guys go and lock the back end together. So it means that now the person that used to do front end before, if the person doesn't, if they did not catch up, if they did not like upskill, it means that their role will be made redundant because it's now easy to like do front end with all of these tools. So it just means that any role, any career path you are in right now, you need to like check how AI is changing it and get on that train.
Amazing. Let me ask, what's your best AI tool?
My best
and why?
Okay, my best AI tool right now is Perplexity.
Perplexity.
Yeah, I use Perplexity. So I use their browser, Comet, and I'm on their pro plan. So because Perplexity has like this deep research, and in my job as a CEO, I do a lot of deep research. I do like competitor research and all of those things. So I do a lot of them with Perplexity. And in their browser, they have like an assistant. Almost every browser now has it.
Yeah.
So as an assistant, but the assistant is also like agentic. So it can take over my browser. I can say, find me top 10 LinkedIn CEO on LinkedIn that I need to talk to, I need to reach out to. Then it will go to my LinkedIn, take over my LinkedIn search, and put their list in an Excel sheet or in a Google sheet and all of that. And I can also say craft message for me to send and craft it. So because of that workflow process, that's why I love it so much.
I mean, I use AI.
Yeah.
Right. I use it a lot, and it has been saving me since. But like hearing this level of, I don't use Perplexity, especially because the subscription, I'm just like, it's not that deep for me. I'm trying to cut costs as a personal finance person. So if it's not a necessity, I wouldn't subscribe for. But for you being the founder, it's necessary for you.
Yeah.
Do you think people are underestimating AI?
Yeah, I believe people are underestimating AI. And why I say that is that there was a stat that was going around Twitter about 2-3 months ago about the percentage of people that are actually using AI right now. Do you know that we're not even up to 1% of the internet? People on the internet, like the billions of it that are using AI, that are subscribed to all of these platforms, like their subscription platforms. So for example, ChatGPT says they have about 700 million users. And
in the world,
Gemini says they have about maybe 300 million per month or something. So that number, if you compare it to the number of active internet users, it's still not up to 5% of active internet users.
Because the population of Nigeria is what, 200 plus, and then 300 million now.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, that it's still in a very early stage. So before it gets to like adopted by everyone, maybe by tradespeople, by drivers, by your driver is using OpenAI, ChatGPT. It's still going to take time. So that's why when many people talk about career shift, although a lot of job loss is happening, but it has still not entered every industry yet. There are still a lot of industries that are still catching up, that are slow to catch up. I just encourage people that you need to learn about it so that it's not catching up with you. You are the one catching up with it.
Exactly. Especially feels like consulting. I was having a conversation with someone and it was a webinar, and they're like, they're trying to learn how to use AI and see how AI can help them in the consulting bit, because it's just like you said, there has to be some human interaction. Like if AI or the system doesn't know the behavior of your customers, it can't really help the way you, who has been relating with them for years, would actually address their problems.
Very true.
Follow-up question to that. Is it safe to say that we are in AI boom now?
Oh, okay.
Because the stock market,
I know.
I feel like every company that has AI
related is booming.
Did you see Intel?
Yeah.
AMD.
Yeah. SanDisk.
SanDisk in 1 year has done over 1,000%.
Yeah. So what I would say about the AI bubble, and I would like to like break it down for your audience.
Yes, please.
Okay. When you say you're in a bubble, right? It means that there's an artificial demand for something and the market is propping it up. So it means that there are a lot of things that can be in a bubble. Maybe during the housing crisis in 2008, that was in a bubble because the process was warped and they were not doing proper due diligence. That was a bubble. But in AI, I just mentioned the number of revenues all of these AI companies are making, and you can see it's obvious. Now, many people are saying that maybe we're in a bubble, but if you look at the finances, let's follow the money. So, for example, I will break AI companies into three. We have the infrastructure companies, and I'll explain it in a bit. We have the model companies, and we have the application companies. That's the application layer. Let's talk about the infrastructure layer. Now, for the internet to exist, there's something called cloud. And when you say cloud, it's not the cloud in the sky. It's literally one server somewhere in one room. Yeah, so that's what we call the cloud. Now, in the cloud, there has to be a cloud infrastructure for internet to exist. So for TVs to exist, for streaming to exist, for you to go on YouTube, for you to be able to access all of those things, they have to be stored somewhere. Right. Now, so for AI to work, AI needs a lot of compute resource. Right. And that compute resource has to be somewhere or else the AI will not work. That's why sometimes for people that use Anthropic or Claude, you see that, you've exhausted your limits. They'll tell you you've exhausted your limit for the day. Or if you're using free ChatGPT version, they say so why they are saying you've exhausted your limit is because their compute has finished. They've priced their compute to say, give this person this amount of compute when they pay this.
And I hear it's really expensive.
It is really expensive. In fact, it is venture capital and funding that made it cheaper for us. We should be paying more for this compute because it's intelligence. We are paying for intelligence. But because, Silicon Valley method whereby venture capital will pump money into something, they make it more cheaper for the future, for you to keep staying there in the future. So now, the infrastructure layer, there are a lot of components that play to it. Now, because they have to go build extra compute, compute is not available. The compute has been used up by the internet. Every company on the internet has used up all of the storage, everything you've stored, they've used up the compute. So for AI to scale, they need to build more compute. Now, the companies at the edge of that compute is what we call the infrastructure companies. So they are the likes of the AMD, they make semiconductor. Intel is one of the most undervalued companies. They've been undervalued since for the last 2 years. I have been holding Intel for the last 2 years. So since when they were $19.
Are you still holding?
I'm still holding, but I've taken some profits. So what Intel
I gave up.
No, Intel is still going to grow. Intel is still going to go bigger because Tesla and they're currently, and SpaceX, they're currently looking to like also get more Intel chips. So Intel started the CPU boom, but because AI needs GPU, AI also needs CPU, but they need GPU more. GPU means graphic processing unit. So it makes processing and thinking on AI faster. So NVIDIA was literally the one that invented that technology. Right? Maybe they were not the one that invented passive, but they were the one that built made it what it is today. And it was for gaming. Then they saw that it's also as multi-purpose. So the people that started LLMs, they trained it on GPU first and NVIDIA GPUs first because it was cheaper, it was faster than a CPU, and they saw that it worked well. So now when LLM now started gaining traction, then everybody started buying GPUs. Then NVIDIA now said, this is a business, and they started capitalizing on it. But NVIDIA's as well, they don't even manufacture their GPUs, right? They even outsource the design to a company called ARM. ARM is based in Cambridge.
ARM. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So NVIDIA outsourced that design to ARM, and when ARM designs it, although that they design and license it, then NVIDIA owns the rights to it.
Okay.
Then NVIDIA now sends it to Taiwan to be manufactured in Taiwan.
Oh.
Taiwan is TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Company. TSMC is one of the largest fab semiconductor manufacturers in the world.
Yeah.
So they are not a lot. People that manufacture semiconductors. There's Taiwan, TSMC, there's Samsung, there's HK Hynix. Also Samsung.
Okay.
Now, there are a lot of components to it. Now, why is SanDisk also booming? SanDisk makes memory card.
Yeah, SanDisk.
AI,
literally the memory card you put in this camera.
Exactly. But AI needs memory because it can't just be computing and computing. It needs to store. Exactly. So SanDisk is also playing it. So now, if you now put all of those components together, there's still a lot of companies like that.
Yeah.
Now there's Seagate technology that they do hard disk that you use in your computer.
Oh.
Yeah, they are also booming right now. Those are the components for a data center because you need that server rack. Now let's say you built that server rack. Now what else do you need? You also need energy. Because AI consumes a lot of energy and a lot of water. So now you look for companies that do water, energy, companies that do energy. There are a lot of different types of energy. There's renewable energy. There's maybe oil and gas is not necessarily.
But renewable energy mostly.
But renewable energy mostly because you want your data center to be booming. Now that's infrastructure layer. Now on the model layer, almost all of the model companies are not public companies. They are all private companies, except for maybe Google. Right.
Can you give us examples of
like Anthropic?
Oh, Anthropic.
Like OpenAI.
But
like
Anthropic is IPOing soon,
there's a rumor that they're going to IPO this year. So hopefully they IPO this year. There's also XAI that owns Grok. So those those are the companies on the model side, but most of them are private companies. They've not listed yet. So how do you not get exposure into them? You can't necessarily gain exposure into them. So that's why retail investors are going towards the infrastructure layer because there's an infrastructure build up right now. There's a deficit. There's a data center deficit of maybe close to 2 trillion. That means data center that's supposed to be built, that needs to be built right now. But it takes time. It will take time for it to be built. So now the last part is the application layer. Now the application layer are these newer companies coming from London, from different part of the world, like 11 Labs where you can clone your voice, like Suno, where you can make songs, like Midjourney where you can create image, like Xfield. Those are the application layer companies. Those ones are also not on the public market. They are mostly on the private market. So retail investors can't even access them. You can only interact with them, but you can't invest in them. So that's the play. Now, tell me what part of these 3 layers that we have the bubble.
So we've done infrastructure, we've done model, and we've done the application. So the bubble, I'll say infrastructure.
But there's an infrastructure deficit right now. Infrastructure is mostly in forward contracts. They don't, like for example, NVIDIA already sold all of the chips it's going to sell this year. They already sold it in January. The chips they are making, because the company has to pay them before they deliver. If you don't pay them, so that's what CoreWeave. There's a company called CoreWeave. That's what they do.
Oh, CoreWeave, they CoreWeave deal was also like booming.
Yeah, they deal with forward contract. They help companies buy GPU. So they outsource it. They buy it from NVIDIA and the likes. They go and they would have ordered GPUs for 2026. They would have ordered it in 2024 or 2025 ahead of schedule. Now, because companies need to train more models, faster models, so they need compute to train them. So that's why I'm saying that there's the bubble. I don't know where the bubble is. Maybe the bubble is in the private market. But the private market is also doing well. They are making record revenue.
Where then is the bubble?
Exactly. We're looking for this bubble.
Because if there's infrastructure deficit. Where then is the bubble? Exactly.
So
I think we're the one just creating the bubble. Exactly. I think we're just. Thank you for all of that exposition, I would say. I don't think I knew that much about, the infrastructure, the model and application aspect of AI. I mean, for me, it was just, I hear about these names, Perplexity, OpenAI. It's very familiar, but just seeing how these guys are connected and their role in this market, in this space, it's really, really, really profound, and thanks for that. Now we've said, okay, we are all looking for the bubble, right?
Yeah.
Even if there's no bubble, so to say, do you think there's a hype?
Yeah, I agree that there's AI hype currently. And you can see it everywhere in the evaluation. So for example, OpenAI raised the largest round in terms of valuation round of a private company ever. Before, you can't raise that kind of money on the private market. You have to go to the public market to find institutional investor to invest in it. So that's because of the hype. And the hype is that when they started, they were like, oh, we want to build AGI, like artificial general intelligence. And if we have it, we are going to be the winner, and everybody competing with us, they're going to be blown out of the water and all of that. So there's a lot of that going on in AI right now. There's a model that Anthropic has been hyping for the past 3 months now called Mythos. They say, oh, this model, it can go into any system and bring out vulnerability flaws. We are afraid to launch it because if we launch it, it's going to destroy a lot of things. So we are launching it with tests with partners and testing and all of that. All of these things are just hype, if you ask me, because it's trying to like gain more anticipation, and people are like, oh, give me the model. I want the model now.
Do you think things could actually go south? I hear there's a hype, but do you think, because everything that has a good part can have a downside as well, do you think things could go south, especially related to stock markets?
Of course, it's the stock market. This goes out every week. So Trump can make a tweet now and the stock market and everything will crash and all of that. Things can go south. A lot of things can go, and it's like reputational risk or any other risk. So, for example, Intel got an investment from the White House or from the US government. You understand? Anything can happen to the US government
and triggers
like a sell-off. But in terms of the fundamentals, but I feel like the fundamentals are still there in terms of for example, the infrastructure companies, many of them trade in forward contracts, right? They already have the contract for the chips they're going to make and all of that. And that's an indication of the market demand. So the demand is there. But I believe that in terms of going south, I won't talk about the stock market. What I was talking about is maybe they release a model that flops, or maybe they release a model
that would affect everybody.
That affects the market, or that affect maybe security risk or security breach. So, for example, something happened with Anthropic it has been happening for a while now, whereby their model is hitting limits, and it's a compute constraint. But they weren't upfront about it. Now, imagine if you're an enterprise company, you already built automation processes around that.
On that.
Right? Like, for example, the use case I mentioned earlier, calling offenders or something. And the model hits limits. The foundational model hits a limit. It means that the automation is going to break. And imagine how much that's going to cost a company that already built their system on top of that. So those are the risks. And those are the risks that anybody adopting AI on a large scale, bringing into production, needs to be aware of and have to prepare for.
AI is exciting, very thrilling. Every day there's something. I love the fact that every day there's something new. If not every day, every week, there's something new. So what excites you mostly, and what concerns you about AI?
So what excites me most about AI is the what you just mentioned, the fact that every day there's something new. Okay, someone said it's like a drug. You go on, somebody addicted to something, you see there's a new update. How can this update change my life? How can this update change my business or something? Something like that. But on the other side, the fact is that I feel like there also should be some process in which people adopt AI and use AI. For example, there are a lot of things that are not. I honestly don't know, but if I was going to bet, so there are two things I'm going to bet on. I'm going to bet on applied AI. So when we talk about applied AI, we're talking about robotics, and there's also called system of things or Internet of Things.
Internet of Things, IoT.
IoT. So it means that we'll have smarter, for example, we'll have smarter Siri. Or smarter Alexa.
So now they're not even smart.
No, they're not smart. You can't tell. Alexa only works on automation. Alexa doesn't have that agentic approach things. You can't enter your TV to go. It's just you have to connect it, stitch it together for it to be able to work. But in the next 10 years, I believe we're going to have smarter IoT devices. Also, we'll have robotic system that works, like robotic system in factories. They already have smart factories that work on they call it robotic automation process. But that is going to be more smarter. It means that you'll be able to build a factory and build down a factory within 1 week. So those are the things that are industrially. That's the part that
that's the
I'm
impact
predicting.
of.
Yeah, in the next 10 years.
Amazing. And I think finally,
What about you? What do you think AI is going to look like in the next 10 years?
honestly, I'm just like, I think in terms of um career,
Yeah,
especially in terms of, because I'm in the finance space.
yeah,
Um, I think in terms of automations, first of all,
yeah,
in my field, things will be different,
yeah.
and I am also trying to play catch up so that AI does not take my job, so that AI will not do the financial analysis that I'm supposed to do. So, but I think in terms of skill sets,
Yeah.
AI is definitely going to disrupt a lot of things in terms of like skill sets and even in terms of career as well.
Yeah.
But like I said, we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know, and we'll just allow the main players of the game
Keep it up.
keep it.
Well, I believe if there's any indication for the future, I like looking at the past to like predict the future.
The future.
So for example, when computer came, when the internet came, so for example, you see there were people using typewriters,
Oh yeah.
right? To like, personal assistant for executives and all of that. Those that did not learn how to use word processor, right? They got kicked out of the way.
Oh,
But
Excel.
now people now start using word processor, Excel, and the
Yeah.
likes, Microsoft Suite and all of that. Then now we're at another pivotal moment where the tools of the past will not be the tools of the future. So I feel like the best indication would be like, or the indicator would be if people are not flexible, people need to be flexible, flexible to be able to learn new things, flexible to be able to like do things in a new way, and that way, like you say, try to catch up with the new direction. Yeah, that's what I think.
Amazing. And I think finally, what's one thing you want people to remember about AI and from this entire session? Like, what's one thing you want people to remember?
Yeah, so coming to a finance sector, like a finance channel like yours, so I want people to stop thinking about AI as only the application layer and understand how they can. There's something in venture capital they call Supercycle. Supercycle, for example, are like period where companies come out of that period.
Yeah.
So, for example, you can maybe in 2010, back in Nigeria, not 2010, maybe 2016, the number of companies that are celebrating their 10 years anniversary now, Piggyverse, MoneyPoint,
Oh yeah.
they all came from that super cycle within 2-3 years of the same time. And why is that? Because something shifted. There was a platform shift that enabled companies like that to be able to exist. Yeah. So right now we're in another super cycle, and there's an opportunity here because it's happening everywhere. It's happening both in the private market and in the public market. So if you are looking to benefit from this super cycle, there are opportunities everywhere. Learn how you can benefit from this super cycle. Right? Go and check the infrastructure company. Do your due diligence. Check what they are doing now. Check how well they are doing, how well they've done in the past. Then look to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Then also on the application layer, Google and all of the likes, look at companies and watch out. The number of companies coming to the public market this year, right? XAI, Anthropic, even OpenAI is looking to IPO this year. So you might also be one of the part of.
Shine your eyes.
Shine your eyes.
Don't snooze though. Get your money ready to invest because I mean AI has come to stay. So don't snooze. If you snooze, you lose.
You lose.
Yeah. Play catch up and don't be left behind. Join the moving vehicle. But yeah, everything that Sam said today and everything he said, I can't even say anything. I can't add anything to what he has said. And I hope that you're also leveraging AI in some form in whatever you do. And yeah, thanks again for today. It was really, really an eye-opening conversation. I think
Thank
for
you.
me, even after this, I'll go read up more on all of these things, and so that I'm more enlightened. It was really nice having you.
Yeah,
I'm
thank you
looking
for
forward to
having
having you again and again, maybe
Yeah.
when the actual AI bubble
Yes.
starts. Alrighty. Thanks everyone for listening and joining us today. Catch you later. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and everything that there is to do on YouTube
And
channel.
comments.
And comments.
Yeah, let us hear your feedback.
Let us hear your feedback. What do you think about AI? What AI tools are you using? And if you have any questions as well, let us know. And bye. Peace out.